Hey guys, Ike here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. I'm out here getting my arrows ready for season, which opens up in about 4 days. And I thought I'd give you guys a quick little tip that has helped me kill deer over the past few years on my broadhead. Of course, you want to use the trusted broadhead, and you want to use a sharp broadhead. Razor sharp, get the sharpest broadhead that you could possibly get. But another thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that that broadhead is secure, especially if it is a broadhead that either has a rubber band on it or a kind of broadhead that relies on tension to make it tight. You want to make sure that that stays tight all the time, and this is how I keep mine tight all the time. So I use a Havoc broadhead. I love the Havoc broadhead, and this one, it's not really as important with it as that it remains tight at all times because of the band system on this, but there are some broadheads out there that have to remain tight all the time. And a couple years ago when we were in Texas, I had one of those broadheads on, and I'm not going to say the name of it because honestly I can't remember. But we got down there and I had an axis deer come out in front of me, and when I drew back I noticed that one of my blades was missing. So I let down and checked it, and what had happened is the broadhead had come loose and one of the blades had actually fallen out. So I missed an opportunity on that one, and then I had an axis deer come in and I made a great shot on her, shot an axis doe, and we had no blood trail. I mean, absolutely couldn't find blood trail anywhere, and I knew I made a perfect shot on her. And they ended up finding her after I'd already went home. So, and they said the hole in her was super tiny. They said it looked like I'd shot her with a field point. What had happened on that, after watching the footage, you can see my arrow out there, and the arrow is actually shaking because my adrenaline was up. And it's shaking like that, and you can see one of the blades is missing, and one of the blades fell off. So I shot that deer, or that axis doe, with only one blade on my broadhead, and it ended up just not doing enough damage. So what I do since then to make sure my broadheads are always tight, this is a super easy, simple little trick. You can use bowstring wax for this. Take your broadhead before you put it on, and just roll the threads right around in that wax. Put a big glob of it on there. It ain't gonna hurt if you have too much. Too little ain't gonna do you any good. So put a big glob of it on there. Try not to cut yourself, but get a big glob of it on there, and what that'll do is it'll fill up some of the spaces in the threads on your broadhead, and it'll also fill up some of the spaces in your insert. You know, there's a little bit of slop to those that allows that to stay loose or get loose. So I'll take a little bit of wax and actually put right down in there in the insert as well. So tighten that up, use a broadhead wrench and secure that down real well, and those broadheads will stay good and secure throughout the season. You may have to do this a few times, but they'll stay good and secure. When you pull them out of your quiver, they'll probably be just as tight now 2 months from now as they are right now. So that's a quick tip to keep your broadheads tight, and it is really, really important on some of the expandable heads and some of the cheaper broadheads and some of the broadheads that when they go together, the tension of it holds the blades together. So put a little wax on your threads, and that'll keep your broadheads tight. For more product reviews, how-to videos, you can check us out, Ike's Outdoors. Check out our partner, Full Drawn Addiction, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share these videos. Appreciate you guys watching.